At Argentum Holdings, everyone knew Mara Lewis as the ugly secretary. No one ever said it out loud. They didn't have to. It lived in the sideways glances, the polite nods, the way junior managers talked over her as if she were furniture. Oversized glasses hid half her face. Her clothes were dull, practical, chosen to blend into the background. Her hair was always pulled back tight, not a strand daring to escape. Invisible, forgettable, safe. And that was exactly why Adrian Vale hired her. Adrian Vale didn't become a millionaire by trusting people easily. He hated distractions, despised office flirtations, and had zero patience for incompetence. When Mara walked into the interview room 3 years ago, he barely looked at her twice. She wasn't charming, she wasn't impressive, but she was precise. Within weeks, his schedule stopped collapsing. Meetings ran on time, contracts returned flawless. Problems disappeared before they reached his desk. Mara anticipated his needs with eerie accuracy, yet never crossed boundaries, never lingered, never demanded attention. She existed only to make his life easier. Until one evening shattered that arrangement. The call came late in the afternoon. Adrian slammed the phone down, jaw tight. One of his most important investors had cancelled at the last minute, but still expected Adrian to attend the charity dinner that night. Alone would look weak. Bringing a model or socialite would look careless. He needed someone who understood the business. His eyes drifted to the quiet figure outside his office. Mara, he called. She entered instantly, tablet in hand. Yes, Mr. Vale, I need you to come with me tonight. She frowned slightly. To the Peterson Foundation dinner. Yes. As staff. No, he said, already impatient. As my guest. Her fingers tightened around the tablet. I'm not prepared for that. You know the project better than anyone, Adrian said. You won't embarrass me. That's all I need. There was a pause. Just one. I don't have suitable clothes, she said quietly. You have 3 hours, he replied, checking his watch. The driver will pick you up at 7. He dismissed her without another glance. He didn't see the way she stood frozen for a moment after leaving his office. Or how her calm mask cracked just enough to let old memories surface, ones she usually kept buried. At 7:30, Adrian stood beneath the glittering lights of the Grand Aurelius Hotel, irritation buzzing through him. She was late. Of course she was. He was already rehearsing excuses when the noise around him shifted, voices lowering, heads turning. Something, or someone, had entered the room. Adrian turned, and forgot how to breathe. The woman walking toward him moved with quiet elegance, her back straight, her gaze steady. Her hair cascaded softly over her shoulders, framing a face he barely recognized. The gown she wore was understated but flawless, hugging her figure without screaming for attention. She looked expensive, powerful, untouchable. It took several stunned seconds before reality caught up. Mara, he asked, disbelief slipping into his voice. Yes, Mr. Vale, she said calmly, lips curving into a faint smile. Up close, he noticed things he never had before, the intelligence in her eyes, the confidence beneath her composure. Without the glasses, without the armor of invisibility, she was breathtaking. Before Adrian could speak, the investor approached, grinning. Adrian, and this must be my secretary, Adrian said automatically, then stopped. The word felt wrong, inadequate. Throughout dinner, Mara spoke only when needed, but when she did, the table listened. She answered questions smoothly, explained strategies clearly, and handled skepticism with grace. People leaned toward her, respected her. Adrian watched in stunned silence. At one point, he leaned closer. Why have you never looked like this before? He asked under his breath. Mara met his gaze, unflinching. Because no one ever asked me to be seen. The music swelled. Guests moved to the dance floor. Without thinking, Adrian stood and offered his hand. Dance, he said softly. Mara hesitated. Just long enough to remind him she still held control, then placed her hand in his. As they moved together, Adrian felt something unfamiliar tighten in his chest. For the first time, he realized the truth. He hadn't hired an ugly secretary.